Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tube Talk.
We have a change of scenery.
Change of scenery. Might be able to see a couple of the bottom of some of the pictures.
Above. High Flyer, 110 races, Silky Broad Boxer 110, my first horse. Box of Fluffies, who was one of our favourites in the Dam of Elusive Boxes, who won by 8 lengths 2 weeks ago.
There we go. I apologise if I sound a bit under the weather. I've just got a bit of a cold that I'm getting through. But this is the final holiday Tube Talk edition.
Yeah.
We'll call it
back
that.
to school on Monday.
Back to school Monday, but that's okay. We will start off with last week. We had Holy Grail, who came fourth in Singapore.
Yeah, so stepping up over ground really suited him, but the race panned out not to suit him. We wanted to sit back last or back in the fields and make our run sort of from about the 800. But what happened was there was a tearaway leader and we had to get going soon. We ended up travelling quite wide for quite a long way. He kept closing all the way up the straight, so he's only beaten a couple of lengths and he kept going. So it was good, but the race wasn't quite run to plan, but I think there's a winner very soon. So he'll go 1,700 metres again next weekend and then up to 2,000, which will suit him. He's improving all the time.
Awesome. And last Tuesday we also had a really good day at the trials. Sophie's Choice bolted in and will be going to a stakes race soon.
She did, won really well and easily. She jumped, led, kicked away, eased up. So she's going to a $50,000 listed race on the 6th of May. And if she can get some black type there, run first, second or third, it'd be great.
Awesome. And, sorry, a bit slow. We had Raposa
Repeater.
Got it, who also won at the trials, and he is now going to the races.
Yes, and he is a full brother to Volpe Veloce, who won her first 6 races in a row. So he's a really well-bred horse. He's a really good horse. There were 3 horses in the race that won trials. He got back, looped them, travelled wide, won well. He's a really exciting horse. So 12th of May is likely, not confirmed, but likely to be his first start.
Awesome. And this week, to my knowledge, we've got 5 runners, and we'll start off at Hastings on Saturday. In race 4, we've got Prince Mambo.
We might have 6 there, although I think there's likely to be a couple of scratchings. Prince Mambo.
Oh, yes, sorry, it is 6.
So he's racing Hastings, an 85 mile. He's got a nice draw. He will, Daryl Bradley on board, he'll jump and he'll probably end up leading or trailing. And for him, it's just getting onto a nice rhythm. And if he gets a nice rhythm, he's going back left-handed, which suits him. He's raced well at Hawke's Bay before, so there's a few things in his favour. And here, this race will tell us whether he wants a break or whether he's good to keep going. So he's a distinct chance on Saturday.
Nice. And in race 9, fresh up, we've got Form Pass.
Yeah, and he's now unlikely to start. It's a kick-off for him over 1,400 metres, but he likes, given the track, it looks like the track might end up being a good 3. If that's the case, he'll scratch. If there's rain today or tomorrow morning, then he may run, but it'd have to be a dead 5 at scratching time, 7:30 for him to run. So he's probably likely to be scratched and be saved for the trials on the 9th of May and then resume on the 20th.
Mm-hmm. At Cambridge in race 5, we've got Mighty Solomon and Passing Shot. This is the one where that's why I thought it was 5 since you both the names there.
So Mighty Solomon, he'll only run as well if it's a dead 5, a bit worse. He's just had a few foot problems, so we don't want to run on a hard track. I think it's a good 3 today, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much rain, so he's likely to be scratched. If he did run, it was a dead 5, I'd expect him to run very well. He's got a big weight, he's a very good horse. Passing Shot gets in really well at the weights. Far better than Mighty Solomon does. He's in form. He goes back left-handed, which he likes, and he's on a track which he's won at. So he's a nice chance. He's a definite each-way chance tomorrow, and he'll almost certainly go for a spell after this.
Mm-hmm. And Passing Shot?
That's Passing Shot.
Sorry, Mighty Solomon?
And that Ace favourite Mighty Solomon.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm not...
This trip race has been a minute for you.
Oh, I need to snap onto it. I'm so sorry. Okay. And on Sunday at Marlborough in race 3, we've got She's Graceful.
So She's Graceful runs Friday. And at this point in time, we don't know how she's performed. And if she comes through, races well, comes through that race well, she'll run on Sunday or 1,400 metres at Marlborough. She'll back up. She's got a good barrier draw, and will ride her how we find her. The big question mark, really, which we don't know about, is how she performed Friday and how she comes through it. So it's hard to know what to say about her. Depends on her performance.
And finally, we're in race 6 on that Sunday in Melbourne. We've got Sharp Owl.
So Sharp Owl, she's probably having her last 2 starts. She would have raced Friday as well and Sunday over 1950 metres both times. And then she's being sold on the 9th of May at the Caracas Sales as a broodmare prospect. So she's really well going to these races. On Friday she's going to wear no blinkers, and we're going to decide whether to put the blinkers back on or not for Sunday. But she is very well, and we are expecting her to race reasonably well. So she could be, depending on how she races on Friday, she could well be worth a couple of dollars each way on Sunday.
Awesome. And our bet of the week last week won, which was pretty exciting. Again, what's our streak now? 3?
About 3. Tavi Dream paid $3.20 or $3.40, I think. Fixed odds $3.40.
Cool. And our bet of the week for this week is Amarula at Hastings in race 3.
So Hastings, it's only a 5-horse field now, and I don't think it's a very strong open class field. He's had 2 runs back. He's ready to strike form. His run last start was very good on the same track, finishing off strongly, and he looks a standout for me in the race. Only a 5-horse field, so odds will be cramped, but if we got $2.50 about him, I think we'll be wrapped. We may not. We may have to take $2, but if he's over $2, I think he's worth a bet. I think he's ready to win, and not a very strong field.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Albert, for that excellent tube talk. Even though I wasn't too switched on in it, I apologise.
Thank you, Sophie, and we shall see you next week for the back to school tube talk.
See ya.
Bye.